Yeah. Okay. Yes. So shoot. Go ahead and ask.
Okay. So as I began my history, I didn't have the friends, people who were in my life, and I was doing them, and I'm friends with them. That I no longer and they almost a feeling of guilt from them. And I noticed they don't notice me. I don't notice them. There's no emotional bonds between us anymore. But I'm just wondering how before I began my journey, I always felt that they were so upbeat all the time and empowered, whereas today I feel like they're also down.
If you recall from Abraham Hicks, you have flying discs, and the discs are different levels of your emotional states. So people who are on the same emotional state are going to be flying on that same disc, and that's where you were beforehand. You were in the same emotional state that they were. Now that you've been healed, you're on a much higher disc. You don't meet anymore. All you can do is look down upon them and see they're down there while you're up here on this much higher level. They haven't reached it yet. That's why they're not crossing paths with you anymore. You attract to yourself like.
That's right. That's why people have become nicer and nicer.
Right, because you're in a much better place.
That's right. So whereas before here's another point. Before I began my healing journey, every time I went out, wherever I went, to a bar, to a nightclub, to a place, grocery shop, there was always a person flaring up at me.
Mm-hmm.
Whether I was in the line, someone got angry because I didn't stand in the line, or a bartender or something. Someone always flared up at me as I communicated with people. Whereas today, I look back and I think, but if I changed myself and my reactions, which I did, how come they are healthier?
It's not that they're necessarily healthier. It's what you are seeing in them. If you ask somebody else, they might still see all those same reactions that you saw then. You don't see them anymore because it's not inside of you anymore. And what you are beaming out is a totally different vibration, and they're reacting to that new vibration.
Okay, so it is a vibration that they're reacting to as long as I'm around them.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so it affects them in a way that they are healthy in a way as long as I am.
As long as you are interacting with them. If you're there and they're interacting with someone who's on a much lower disc, and they're on that same low disc, they're going to interact the same way with that person that person's interacting with them. They react to whatever vibration they come into contact with.
Okay, I'm going to notice that.
I mean, don't you ever have any friends who, whenever you go them, you notice that everything around them is all negative, negative, negative?
Yeah.
And that negative vibrational can affect you if you let it affect you. Okay, the same goes the opposite. When you're in a higher vibration, everyone around you is going to be somewhat lifted up by your higher vibration. Same way that animals lift you. Dogs and cats are known to lift up people's vibrations. You don't bring their vibrations down. They bring our vibrations up.
That's why we like them so much.
That's correct, yeah.
So I've become like a puppy.
Well, sort of, if you want to look at it like that.
Like pets and puppies and beautiful animals.
Yeah, from the inside, I would say you're still a human being by all standards.
Of course.
And that is why there are still times when things might trigger you. That's why we continue to have sessions. If you were a total puppy, things wouldn't necessarily trigger you anymore, period. But you're human. You're not, and it's human nature. Human nature is not to stay up there all the time, but you go down and you strive to go back up. You go down, you strive to go back up, and you strive to stay for longer periods of time each time. And it gets easier and easier to stay for longer periods of time each time as you practice it.
That's right. So the next question could be me addressing a part of your answer, which was the way I got it, the way I understood. You said that if I'm standing there, as long as I'm interacting with them, they're gonna match my vibration. They are nice people. But if someone standing next to me interacts with them from their own place, which they are in, they're not gonna get the same response that I did.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel, just my feeling, I feel that wherever I go, people are not only nice to me, which they are, but they're nice to each other. They seem to have so much fun with each other.
Okay, so there's a little bit of a spillover, I would say, and which basically means, you ever notice when there's somebody who's in a really good place, who's like the life of the party, who, it sort of brings up that whole level of the party, and as soon as that person leaves the room, suddenly everything seems a lot more drab. Okay, there is that effect where someone who has a very strong vibration, it affects everyone around.
Okay.
So,
that's right.
So what you are experiencing is you're in this really high place, and even if those things might be going on over there, you wouldn't even see it or notice it because it's not in your filter. You're wearing a different filter over there. All you see is that everyone's having fun. All you see is everyone's in a good place. So even if those things would be going on, you wouldn't notice it.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
I can give you an example. Before, whenever I went out to a bar or a nightclub or any type of place, and I saw couples hanging out with each other, everybody's always fighting. When I see couples today, okay, you are right. They are not always happy with each other. When I step in, I get a positive response and talk to them. But there's no fighting between people as I go out anymore. As I sweep by.
You don't see it. You don't see it. It's not in your filter. You're not wearing that filter anymore.
I don't see it. So it can be all around me, but I don't see it.
Right. It's amazing. But yeah. Which is why you have two people who have the same boss, and the boss steps out and starts yelling at them, and they both have two totally different reactions. Right? One of them says, oh, he's going to fire me. Oh, I better go. I didn't do this well enough. I didn't do that well enough. I didn't do that well enough. And the other one says, oh, he had a fight with his wife. Big deal. It'll pass in 2 seconds.
That's right.
Each one is seeing it through their own filters.
That's true. Yeah. Regarding filters, as I hanged out with friends before, another thing I've noticed is that they sweep. I can be, as I've released my stuff, one fantastic thing I've noticed, Elana, is I can be so assertive and still people like me.
Yeah.
Whereas before, if I was assertive before I began my healing journey, people would just go, no meaning, goodbye. For example, if someone asked me, why are you smiling? Before, I just couldn't answer straight up. I would just say, well, what do you think of my smile? If I would say, well, I want to, they would go, oh my God, that was a rude way to answer. I don't want to hang out with you. But today, wherever my natural response was many times when someone asked me, why do you smile? I told them straight in the face, because I do.
Right.
And they're still nice. If it's a bartender, she's still serving me. She's still nice. They don't take it as a diss or a rejection.
Yeah.
Because I answered that way.
Right.
Whereas before I began the journey, nobody would accept a rude answer from me. What do you have to say about that? What's your comment?
I think it's the same idea. It's what you're vibrating out from you. It could also be that when you answered beforehand, I'm smiling just because I want to, you were saying it, the tone of voice that you were using expressed what you were feeling in the inside. Now, when you say, I'm smiling because I want to, it's also expressing what you're feeling in the inside, but you're expressing in the inside right now peacefulness. Not turmoil, not hurt, not pain, but peacefulness and feeling good with yourself. So the tone of voice that you use, the vibration around you, all has an effect on how someone else will understand you. It's the way the things are.
That's true. That's true that my vocal tone is different. The inside is different.
Yeah.
That's true. Just my vocal tone is different.
So when you say now, when people ask you why you smile, I say, because I feel like smiling. You're saying it in ease. You're saying it in clarity, in fun. You're not saying it in, because I want to, because what do you think I am? Because, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Before it was like an angry, defensive response.
Right.
That's true. That's true. And let's see what more questions I can have. I really want to have as many questions as possible. Yeah, here's the deal. Speaking at being peaceful with oneself, how come that today, as I began my healing journey more and more, I feel happy hanging out with myself? I don't remember, but I know I have had the first time I began actually enjoying going out and having maybe a beer or glass of wine on my own was after my healing journey. Before my fast reality journey, it didn't exist in my world. I mean, the mere thought of going out alone to a place like dancing or having a beer, I would just feel so guilty, shame. But today I go alone. Can you talk a little bit about that feeling and enjoying being with ourselves and this connection?
It's learning how to love yourself unconditionally. And that's what you're basically learning how to do. When you love yourself unconditionally, you feel good with yourself. You feel good with yourself whether you're with other people or whether you're alone. You don't need. Okay, I think I have to get going.